life shouldn't be blue. I want it to be true. Don't want to be trapped on
Hey,
doing
this
what I
is
should.
DebraDanielsen for the Rebel Podcast, and I am coming to you from Omaha, Nebraska, where the high today, right this minute, is 7 degrees. But it's better than the low we had last night. With wind chill indexes, it's been up to 29 below here. And when I woke up this morning, the actual temperature was -4. So honestly, this is the best time of the year. If you're going to watch Teen Mom Next Chapter, this is the time to do it. Let's face it, who wants to go outside and freeze? I need all of my appendages and I don't need to have any frostbite on them. So today we're going to talk about on the show Teen Mom Next Chapter. And you guys were loving the last review we did. So wanted to do some more kind of behind the scenes commentaries and share insights that you might not otherwise have available. Waylon is going to join me from, that beautiful Palm Springs, California, warm weather vibe. Hopefully he'll blow some warm weather in our way. And then we can talk about our favorites on the show this week. So actually we're going to combine a couple of episodes. Mainly we're going to talk about our favorites, and one is going to be Amber Portwood. I find her story amazing as it continues because she is making progress, and I do find that although her struggles are real and that she has made a lot of progress, she's still honest enough to admit that she's still struggling. She doesn't say that she's arrived by any means, but that she's still working on herself and being the best she can be. And for that, I am absolutely applauding you, Amber, and sending you love. So we're going to talk a little bit about her story. Another story that we watched very closely was Catelynn and Tyler, and their, I guess, onward and upward struggle with the adoption situation that they chose at the beginning of when we started filming Teen Mom. That story is very moving and very close to home. You know, anytime you have an adoption situation, it's never an easy situation. There's always questions, and for every family it's going to be a little different. In every situation there's also, very personal things that come into play that you're never going to get two scenarios alike. But one of the things that really weighed on my mind as I watched Catelynn and Tyler and their struggle in communicating appropriately with the adoptive family was that they're blaming the adoptive family for not having contact with their birth daughter. I understand that as children grow, we want them to grow and be independent. We want them to think for themselves. We want them to be fierce and self-confident. And I think that one of the aspects of the story that's missing that we're going to talk more about today is, what does the child want, who's now 16? This is where we started the journey with Teen Mom OG, was when all of the girls were 16. It was 16 and pregnant, right? And so Farrah and Amber, Catelynn, Macy, all of the girls told their story, and they all were very opinionated. They all were very headstrong about their situations and what they needed to do, and then how they needed their parents. Well, these next chapter children, the children that we watched from birth that are now turning 16, they also have feelings. They also have struggles that they're dealing with. We're going to talk more about how you can't put the blame on just the adoptive parents. This is a personal journey also for their child that they put into the hands of a very beautiful, capable couple to raise. We'll talk more about that and maybe some of the ramifications that haven't been explored and haven't been talked about, and why it's important to talk about those things and take them into consideration. So on these 2 episodes, those were the OG girls that we followed. The other stories that I found very interesting, and we'll hear more about what Waylon thinks when he joins us. I was really involved in the Cheyenne story and Ashley. I thought those were 2 stories that really had some very valuable content. Now, Cheyenne, I just really feel like I kind of bonded with her when, you know, she walked into the situation where there was, you know, a reunion going on with TeenMom at one point, where Farrah showed up, and Farrah said some things that were very hurtful, I think off-putting to a lot of people. And Shy didn't waste any time expressing her feelings. The only thing I wish she wouldn't have done is flip the table over, because there were people's drinks on it, and she appears to be a beautiful woman. I have never met Shy. I'd like to meet her, but I feel like I owe her an apology. I just want to say that I'm impressed with the story, and her story is very touching to my heart. So we're going to talk about that. I really appreciated that she went out and sat down and met with Ashley. I think the other story that I really have enjoyed learning a little bit more about is Mackenzie and her struggles of what she's going through with her diabetes. And so I've got some real questions there. And I just don't understand some of that, some of the choices that maybe her doctors have made, or maybe she's made them, but I want to talk more in depth about that today. Pull up a nice cushion and a great drink, and we'll sit down and we can talk about these things together. Waylon is going to join us, and of course, he always has a very interesting take on these things. And I'm so glad that you've been watching the reviews of the TeenMom Next Chapter with Waylon and I. These episodes and some of the behind-the-scenes stories that we're going to talk about, I'll fill in some blanks and make this even more exciting for you to watch. But let's compare notes. The other person that I found very interesting was Mackenzie. So Mackenzie's dad, this was frightening, okay? So Mackenzie has 2 stories that to me are the best. And you just tell me what you think. One is Mackenzie's dad shot himself accidentally in the arm with a bow and arrow. So he had put down the thing or threw it, and then the arrow went off and went through his arm, his forearm, I guess. There was blood all over the house. It looked like somebody had been murdered, and they had taken their major vein, like their jugular or something, and just shot blood all over. And when they came and got him, he had to go to the hospital and everything. I mean, and he was in there. He was admitted to the hospital. The EMT said that if it would have been another 3 minutes, they would have lost him, because he lost that much blood.
All the blood lost, yeah.
God. So they were actually going there to visit and to go fishing and to have a cool little weekend. And then that all got waylaid because of the accident. But Mackenzie wants to have another child, and she suffers from diabetes. And the doctor was on there explaining the risks of a pregnancy where your A1C isn't within a certain range, and on and on and on, right? Not to get down in the weeds of it. And what was fascinating was, how come they don't have her on Ozempic? You know, everybody wears the little patches now. My husband, David, he wears a patch. And they have a monitor, and it's on your cell phone. And it tells you, hey, here's a warning. You know, before it happens is kind of preemptive. So the doctor was explaining to her, if her A1C was outside of this particular range, then the pregnancy and the child would be endangered, and here's things that could happen. But as the episode went on, Mackenzie and her partner, you know, they're talking. She has a studio where she teaches cheerleading, and they do competitions, and so she's very physically active all the time. She eats right, but she doesn't always take her shots her insulin when she should. And she's kind of bad at that, from what it sounds like reading through the lines of what people are saying to her. So I gotta say, getting pregnant means that much to her. And she wants to have a healthy child and she be healthy and not have any danger. Why are we not seeing like Ozempic or Manjaro or one of these new drugs that can help her and make it more, I guess, automatic?
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a good solution.
But I didn't hear
Maybe,
any
I don't know, those drugs are really expensive though, so I wonder if maybe that's an issue or plus a lot of people are using them for just
diet.
for weight loss. Yeah. So I know there was like supply because they were being used so widely, everybody wanted to be on it. Could be an issue too.
I would like to know more about that in the story because I don't really feel like, there's a lot of people that suffer from diabetes and the
Oh yeah.
negative effects of it. So I would think that they'd want to cover that, especially if you want to get pregnant and you want to be healthy and strong, not only your body, but the child's body.
Yeah, I think so too. It reminds me, have you ever seen Steel Magnolias?
Yes.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. Because, the Julia Roberts character was diabetic or she had like an extreme case of diabetes and, you know, wasn't supposed to get pregnant or have children. It'd be too hard on her body, which is kind of interesting because now it shows how far we've come medically, with diabetes that it's not such a huge, I mean, it's still a risk, but there's ways of controlling that risk, with pregnancy and being diabetic. Because at the end, not to spoil anything for anyone, but Julia Roberts' character dies at the end of Steel Magnolias. So you
No,
haven't seen it.
it's a hard,
Yeah,
it's really tragic. And
yeah.
I guess I sat there for 2 episodes now thinking, why in the world is Mackenzie not talking about taking Ozempic or taking Manjaro and monitoring and managing this in a better way?
Yeah, because those options are available. I don't know why.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's
I don't either.
maybe just, yeah, maybe her doctor hasn't gotten there with her, I guess, or something.
And her dad suffers from it too. So
Hmm.
I would think this would be a good topic.
Well, it seems like so many people are probably going through the same thing too, because I mean,
Definitely.
diabetes is so common now. Even I'm pre-diabetic, I found out. So
Oh my
it's
God.
you know,
So what are you doing? Are you eating different?
uh I'm trying to eat less sugar, but I didn't really eat that much sugar anyway.
Never have.
So yeah, I've always been and I've been low carb.
Well, have some fresh fruit. Have like a glass of orange juice and eat some blueberries. All
I
good.
have blueberries every day.
There you go. Antioxidants.
Yeah, yep. Good for your brain too.
I know, and I need all that I can get.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to, because Sophia means so much to me. I just want to take a minute and just tell her, happy birthday, Sophia, and Grandma loves you. And Grandma wrote Grandma's love because she knew there might come a day like this where we couldn't be together to celebrate you turning sweet 16. Oh my gosh, this is the big one. And I can't wait to the day I see you again and we get to go out and do something fun and jump and run and play or just be happy. Yes, I can't wait for you to take me for a ride in your car one day. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you guys will be able to celebrate her birthday. Maybe not tomorrow, but sometime in the future, and it'll be great for you
I just,
both.
I just wish there would be a way to capture her turning 16 like the rest of these beautiful children and to capture her thoughts and her feelings because I know she tends to totally back away from the cameras and she tends to be very private and she's very intelligent. I think Sophia is one of the most fascinating people I've ever met because she is so kind and thoughtful, but she's also so, I don't know, considerate of other people. Very considerate. to the point of almost evaporating herself. I honestly think she's one of the most spectacular people I've ever met in my whole life. And I'm just like so blessed to have her in my life. I haven't seen Sophia now for almost 4 years. And it's heartbreaking.
I don't know what to say other than, I mean, someday it'll all change.
It will.
She'll be an adult. It's getting closer to that time. You know, every day brings you closer. And I know you guys will be able to have a great relationship once she can make decisions on her own. I hope she sees this and can see what a great grandmother she has in you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You know, the very first thing I always did for Sophia on her birthday was buy her a special little cake. I'd go over to Whole Foods and I would get like some little tiny special cake just for her. Just something there she could, like, if she wanted to put her fingers in it or whatever, she could do it. And it would just be fun. And so I just miss those times.
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to do it again.
All right. So now that we got to say goodbye, where's George at?
He is sleeping on the floor, laying in the sun.
Well, I guess it's time to go wake him up and take him outside for a walk.
Yeah, he probably would love that. Go for a little walk.
Yeah.
Go see the hummingbirds.
Oh my gosh, I know they're beautiful. I know they're fun. I love those.
Yeah. He loves to chase after them.
Oh.
But they outrun him every single time. So
His dream. Don't tell him he's too short.
yeah, little dogs always think they're, the biggest person in the room. So
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's just been so great catching up with you today and talking about Teen Mom Next Chapter. Thank you for watching the Next Chapter review with Waylon and I today. Check out DebraDanielsen's music on Spotify and all major distribution outlets.